I hear you. I do that all the time if I was on that side of it.
It's like, okay, now we're rolling. I actually did that with another band. I was like maybe 15 minutes into it. And I'm like, oh
Oh.
crap. And I'm like, so tell me again about the new album.
Oh, that's funny.
Just tried to play it off. And it all worked out in the end. It really did.
And there you go. The power of editing.
Yes, indeed. The magic of the edit. So talking to Jeremy from A Day to Remember. First album out in a few years. You've been kind of I wouldn't say quiet, but you're a dad now, so I guess that kept you busy for a bit. So
It has.
congratulations.
Thank you, thank you. That definitely was the case, and then like just slowly working on this record in the background, trying to finish it really did keep us kind of quiet. And then like obviously this last year and not being able to tour and stuff was also part of why it's felt like that. But man, it's looking like things are going to be starting to get booked here soon, and the record's out, so we're feeling good.
Now, I was like skimming through the new album, 14 songs, 46 minutes.
Mhm.
That's like a cardio hit right there. I mean, that's get
For
your
sure.
cardio get done.
Yeah, man. In and out. We had a lot more songs that we were going to be recording, but it felt overwhelming the amount of songs we would have ended up putting on it. And then as we started to actually record it all, it was really obvious that if we had have continued to have a record that was more like a double album, some songs that really mattered might have suffered because other songs needed more time. So we
Mhm.
kind of decided to make it more concise and kind of focus on quality over quantity.
Now, since it's been a while, obviously, since you toured and everything, and the energy that you and your band have to put out each and every night, are you afraid it's like it's been a few years? It might be out of practice a little bit, because you are one of the with your band, you do the screaming and the singing, which you kind of go
Yeah,
back and forth. Which a lot of bands like Seven Dust. I didn't realize forever it was Morgan that was doing all the screaming in the background until I finally saw a video from Seven Dust. It's like who's doing all that screaming? So you're doing both, and I
I
mean
am.
that's got to take a toll on the voice too. Like how do you expect to keep your regain the energy that you need to perform live?
So it was definitely a learning process, and I had to kind of figure that out by just doing it over the years. But I've figured out a system that allows me to switch between both pretty fluidly. Um, I have figured it out, but more than anything, man, it's that first few shows back, just like getting your cardio back to where it was, because it's hard to replicate singing and performing at the same time, unless I was to get on like a treadmill and just sing a set while I do it, and probably half die. But yeah, no matter what you do, like the biggest part for at least me as a vocalist is just to get that show cardio back where I can sing and perform at the same time fluidly.
You might be onto a new fitness trend, show cardio, like where you can train other band members of other bands, and you kind of get like a Zoom spin sing class going. Like you got to play guitar while you're on the treadmill and sing while you're on the elliptical and like all kinds of things.
Really, all it would take is like you just are a brisk jog, and then like sing your set or like play your songs. And if you can do that comfortably, then you're good to go.
Nice. Well, plus too, you got to factor in when you finally get in front of an audience again. That adrenaline is probably just gonna kick right in as soon as you see the kids start throwing the elbows and jumping all around and crowd surfing and all that. That's definitely gonna even if you want to pace yourself, you're gonna get amped.
That's the hardest part, especially with what just happened, like not being able to play shows for so long. It's going to be hard to kind of hold yourself back, because you really can, just like a boxer or something. You punch yourself out real quick, and then you're like gasping for air the rest of it. So you really do got to pace yourself. So we'll see what happens.
Let's talk about Jeremy, the producer, because you produced a few other bands too. I always got to ask, like people who have their own bands and then they also produce for others. Do you ever like kind of struggle with like, man, that song it's really good, but maybe I want it. No, don't do this one over here. I got this other song for you. Yeah, you ever have that struggle?
I got to tell you, it has been a struggle for me in the past. I tell people that want to work with me all the time, it's like, you don't, I just usually tell them no. If I'm in album mode for myself, I'm like, you don't want it, you can't work with me right now, because if you show me an idea and it triggers that thing that just starts to like write a song in my subconscious, it's going to be really hard for me to give up on that. So I always tell people, approach me during that time period at your own risk. And then I usually can separate the two in my head. So if it's something that, I'm in the room with you, and I would never have come in contact with this had I not been working for your band and your record, I can kind of like compartmentalize that to be only for that band, since like it isn't my song. It would have never happened had I not been allowed in that room at that moment. You know what I mean? So for me, like, I could always separate the two. It's like, this song wouldn't exist had I not been asked to produce this record. So that's kind of how I treat it. It is tough sometimes, though. Sometimes it's like, damn, that's a little too good.
And it's like, here's $5 and I'll take it back.
You don't like that. It's not good, I promise.
You've 15 minutes free studio time if you give me that song back.
Yeah, exactly.
As I was going through the songs, one that I'm looking at my notes here. One that was it Degenerates? That's the one I kind of like caught me, like talking about all your friends being degenerates, and I was like, I can relate to that, because I got a lot of degenerate friends out there who are always borrowing money from me and not returning it and things of that nature. And it's like, I just like, I was fun. I was able to gravitate towards a song like on the first listen of an album, like that one. I like that.
That's awesome. That's awesome. That song is interesting lyrically, because it means both. So I do this a lot. So I try to have multiple meanings a lot of times in songs, and I wanted to have that song be about that specific scenario on one side, but at the same time, it's also about the complete opposite, where people judge these people unfairly, and that's the way they view them. But in reality, the way they're not being judged by the people they are, they're more being judged by the way that they look. So I tried to write the song where it could mean that to you, and also that to another person going through another thing. So I always love hearing the different perspectives, and that it translated both ways.
Is it fun that way? You write a song and then all of a sudden you start hearing from fans and maybe doing interviews, you get feedback, and you're like, haha, I got you with that thought, and I got you over there with that thought, and it's like my plan has come together.
It really is, because like that's the like time and effort I put into the lyrics. It's like to be able to speak to multiple meanings and have it actually mean, it can actually be that story for that person if that's the way it hits them and it makes sense. And I love to have those multiple meanings for different people in there. I just actually, speaking of producing and stuff, I just worked with a band on a new song that is probably going to be putting out a new track here coming up soon, within the next month. I'm stoked about. But one of the songs I worked on with them, we talked about it. It literally meant 4 different things all in one, and every single word spoke to each individual meaning that it could be taken as. And I was so excited about that. I love those like hidden meanings, and one word over here can change the meaning for this route or whatever. I just love all those little details.
Is it like, are you into puzzles and stuff? Is that how this kind of works? Are you into kind of like doing that type of thing, or can you solve a Rubik's cube, or what's going on here?
No, actually, I'm not someone who likes puzzles or does stuff like that. But it is very, very interesting to me on a lyrical front to have deep meaning, and to have those things hidden in there that people can kind of discover over the years, and almost hear a song for the first time 10 years later, when somebody was like, no, you didn't know that, it actually means this. And then you hear it and it's like, oh my God, I just had no idea. I thought it was something so simple, but holy hell, like, I love those moments. And I think that having stuff like that for people is really what can contribute to your songs mattering more than just right now. Like if you can affect somebody 5 years down the road and really have something hit them out of the blue and like be powerful in its meaning after they already thought they knew everything about it, I really think that like makes it something that you could revisit for life and enjoy.
Now, when it comes to songwriting, what is like, take us a little bit through your process of what you do. Is it sitting at a desk? Is it sitting on the couch? Is it just you're wandering around one day, you get something, you got to record into a phone? Like, how does it work for you?
It's more like that. Like I'll have like some idea just pop in my head. I'll do a little quick voice memo or figure out how to play the music on the guitar, write down the lyrics or whatever come to me in that moment. Or even if there's like a phrase that I hear someone say that I think is cool, I'll do my version of it. Or, lyrics that, just pop into the head or whatever. I'll write that down over the years. I really compile all these moments over the course of time, and it usually roughly ends up being about 3 years for me to have enough of those special songs or ideas saved up that I really think portray that real human emotion. Like you can tell that these songs and this person that's telling this story has actually been through this. This isn't just someone writing a song about something off the dome that they're not really experiencing. This is somebody actually in the moment going through this subject. And that's really what I've always chased our whole career. And I think that's a big reason why people have connected with us over the years so much, is because you can really feel that person going through that struggle in the lyrics.
Now, has becoming a father have you been getting some kind of new lyrics coming in that way? Have you been like thinking, have some, has that got some different creative juices flowing while you're getting vomited on by your child, or those days?
100%. She's like 3 now, so
Yeah.
a little bit over 3. So we're pretty much past the vomiting stage, uh, thankfully. But the answer is yes. The song we did with Marshmello, "Rescue Me," was about that like life change and not knowing that you needed it until it happened. And then like once it happened, it's like, oh my God, this was like the exact next step that I needed in life. And I had no idea, until you were here.
Mhm.
So Rescue Me was very much about that. And then also Everything We Need off of our new album, You're Welcome, was also very much about that, just reflecting on everything that you do have that is positive, even if life and whatever you're going through hasn't worked out the way that you intended it or you thought that it would. Reflecting on the things that actually matter and realizing I really do have everything that I need.
Now, I would assume, obviously, in the past year and change with the pandemic going on, you've been busy with this album and getting the finishing touches done and working. But any other extra free time? Did you come up with any kind of hobby or something that you would probably have never done before, but because of the pandemic, you started doing this?
Um, I chilled with my family a lot, worked when I could, whenever stuff came up. But for the most part, I got to be honest with you, I just played games with the boys,
Mhm.
whenever we could. It's like we couldn't hang out in person, so whenever anybody would be free, we'd all hit each other up and just hop on Discord and play a game together. And it really helped get us all through it in a time where you can't really leave the house.
Yeah.
So you had that camaraderie of like doing something with the guys to make you feel like you left even though you didn't.
What was it? Was it a special game of choice that you played?
Oh my God. So Josh, our bass player, convinced me to play World of Warcraft Classic
Oh,
that
okay.
that launched here like a year or so ago, and it's been that the whole time. Good Lord. I was I was hesitant to start it because I kind of knew. I was like, man, if I like this could be an insane commitment. I really like
Yeah.
pushed back for a while, and they finally convinced me. And here I am. I literally just signed off right now just to talk to you. Still playing it a year later.
Well, after we sign off with this, and then I'll go back to playing my games that I do. So they've been doing a lot of
Exactly.
Xbox myself too.
Exactly. Got to pass the time so we can get out of here.
That's right. Well, Jeremy, thanks for some time today and talking about the new album, You're Welcome, which has been out about a month, a little month and change now. First
About
album
that.
in several years. So everybody go pick it up or download it or however you're going to get your music. And I guess we'll be seeing you on the road soon. I saw you did have some scheduled dates, crossing fingers, wait and see, right?
Yeah, cannot wait. We're going to be talking with management next week about a bunch of offers evidently that are coming in. So couldn't be more excited. I am ready to get back to work and play some music for people.
I think that's what everybody's looking forward to is like, and it's great. There's so much new music out there. And I was talking to some other bands about this. Like, you're going to hit the road with people probably already knowing your new songs, which is kind
I
of
know
weird. Yeah. Like a lot of bands like,
it's going to be
hey,
months.
we haven't toured with this yet. And people know all the words. They're not
I
going to
know
the
we're usually
bathroom.
the records usually come out like week number one of a
Yep.
tour, and you usually have like a month left at that point. So people have lived with this record for months by the time we get out there. So it'll be exciting. I really can't wait.
All right, Jeremy. Well, thanks again. And hopefully we'll see you in South Jersey in the Atlantic City area again very, very soon.
Cannot wait. We'll see you there.